Hi, I'm Maya from Book from Dreams and welcome to a new video. Let's haul some books. So this bunch of books that I got here are all the books I got since summer. So this is my autumnal book haul. The first bunch will be books that I got before Interliber, and the second bunch will be books I got at Interliber. So let's start with the books I got before. So these are all the books that I get from the bookstore when I go to the cinema. So where you wait before you go in, and then you go, and then you walk to the bookstore just to check what's in there, and then you get stuff. So first book I want to talk about is A Master of Jinn by P. J. Clark. This is something I have read before. In this story, we follow Fatma. Fatma is the youngest woman working for the Ministry of Alchemy, Enchantments, and Supernatural Entities. Basically, she investigates supernatural stuff. And in this story, she is investigating a murder of a secret brotherhood. Now, there's a man who claims that he committed the murder, and he also claims to be a man called Al-Jahiz, I believe, who is basically a figure from their past. So 50 years before, a man called Al-Jahiz transformed the world by sort of blurring the boundary between the real world and the magical world, basically introducing magic and different creatures into the reality of Egypt in the past. And now you basically sort of have an integrated society in the 1920s, but you know, stuff still happens. And our main character Fatma has to figure out if this man is telling the truth or not, and what is the sort of history. So what are the events happening in the background, and if, you know, someone's trying to take over the world, as it usually happens in these sort of books. I've read it, I enjoyed it, and I told myself if I ever see a copy I would get it, and that's what I did. Then I got I always want to say Mortal Kombat. Combat Codes by Alexander Darwin. In this world there was a big war where people used weapons of mass destruction, so whatever, giant kind of weapons. And to sort of prevent that ever happening, the lands of this world decided to have like champions that would fight hand to hand for like their land's interests. And we follow Murray Pearson, who was a champion of his land, but he had suffered a terrible loss, and now he's walking around trying to find, I guess, his successor. And he thinks he finds a great candidate in a person called, I want to say, Kigo, I don't know how to say his name. So basically, he wants to get this person to, like, the academy where you learn how to fight and stuff. But before they get to that, Kigo, whatever his name is, has to prove himself in the brutal world of underworld fighting. So it should be lots of fights, and I'm looking forward to getting to it. Not entirely sure what a dragon has to do with this fighting stuff, but we'll see when I read the book. Then I walked into a bookstore one day and I was so surprised to find this. So basically, we have a Croatian translation of Murderbot. So this is book 1, Dnevnici jednog ubibota. This is a collection of the first 2 novellas, which is All Systems Red and Artificial Condition. And then we have the second one, which has the second 2 novellas. One of them is Exit Strategy, and the other is, of course, it escaped, Rogue Protocol, I think. So I just want to show you, before each of the novellas, there is an illustration. So I want to show you one for All Systems Red. Look how cool that is. So cool. So yeah, so for you who don't know, Murderbot series is a series written by Martha Wells, in which we follow a security android who basically hacked their controlling system so they can enjoy life. And they're called Murderbot because of something that happened in their past. This android is in charge of humans, and their humans always keep getting into trouble, and they have to save them. So yeah, I've read all of the books and the novella, everything that's in this series. I think the newest one came out this month in November, so I haven't gotten that one, but I will. But I am excited to have the Croatian translation of these works, and I will be getting to them soon. Then I got something for Croatian Book Month because I am participating in the reading challenge created by the girls from Morena Kutija, in which we are supposed to read a bunch of SFF works by Croatian authors. So they kept talking about this one author called Milena Benini, and I saw this in the bookstore and got it. This book is called Nocturne za Krpelja. So to translate this, basically Nocturno is a type of musical work, and the last part is for ticks. Now, the animal tick, you know, that thing, basically in this story, this word, tick, is a derogatory term for vampires, because vampires are known in this world because, you know, they came out for reasons. I think the reason was that they had to. I don't remember. I read this thing and I forgot why they had to come out to be known to the world. So in this story we follow Viv. She's a private detective and she's sort of been forced to work for a vampire to find this mysterious ring. As I said, I read this before and I will be talking about it when I wrap up all the stuff that I read for this reading challenge. And the last thing I got was Brandon Sanderson's Tress of the Emerald Sea. This is book 1 in his Year of Sanderson project that's been happening throughout 2023. Basically, this is a cozy fantasy, I've been told, in which we follow Tress. She lives on her island and she basically enjoys her life. Then something happens to move her from the island and she goes on an adventure. I'm looking forward to getting to it soon. From what I gathered by watching reviews on BookTube, I think people like this one the most from all the books that have been out. So when I saw it, I thought to myself, I'll get it. I mean, I have most of Brandon Sanderson books, so one more will not kill me. But I am looking forward to getting to it soon. All right, now to talk about all the books I got from Interliber. So Interliber is a week-long book fair that happens in Croatia every November. And this is an opportunity for all of our publishers and even foreign ones to sort of showcase their books. And so we can go and buy them for a cheaper price. I say cheaper because it's usually like €1 or €2 cheaper for the books that I want to read, not for other stuff. But, you know, as in every book fair, there's mostly Stephen King, crime books, thrillers, and romance stuff. For fantasy, there's usually, you know, the usual suspects like Martin, Tolkien, you know, all the YA fantasy stuff that we read 20 years ago. So here are the books that I got from there. So first book is a romance. So I got Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I read the entire Chloe Brown Sister series by the author and I really enjoyed them. And this is my favorite book in the series. I always told myself, if I see it in the store, I'll get it. So in this story, we follow Chloe Brown. She has a chronic illness that basically leaves her, let's say, shy to experience new stuff, new things and new experiences in her life. So after having a near-death experience, she decides to make a list of all, like a bunch of fun things that she wants to do. And she asks this man, Redford, who is a handyman in her building, to help her achieve some of the things. Because one of the things is to ride a motorcycle, and this dude has a motorcycle, and other stuff that happens. So basically, while they're working on her list, they also fall in love and steamy stuff happens, and they work through various issues that both of them have to finally get together in the end. It's really fun, and I'm looking forward to rereading this again sometime soon. Then I got a sequel to a book I haven't read, which is usually not a good idea, but I saw it, the price was acceptable, and I got it, and that is the Oleander Sword by Tasha Shuri. This is the sequel to The Jasmine Throne. What do I remember about The Jasmine Throne? I think that's the one with the princess and the handmaiden or something, but I am not entirely sure. Hopefully I will get to this series soon. But it's pretty cover. Look at it. So nice. Then I got a sequel of a book I have read, and that is The House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. This is book 2 in the Crescent City series. Now look at the cover. There's a snake with feathers on it. What that is about, I have no idea. So basically this is Maas's urban and fantasy series, in which I believe the world is divided into 4 houses. In the first one, the house of, oh my god, something, is it something flame? I don't know what it's called. In the first one, basically, we deal with, what was it? Not vampires, angels and werewolves. So the whole world is filled with supernatural creatures, and they, you know, in Sarah J. Maas fashion, deal with each other in quite antagonistic ways. And in the first book, we follow our main character, whose name, of course, escapes me right now, who survived a traumatic event and given a task to figure out who murdered her best friend and the entire pack of werewolves that, you know, the friend was in charge of. In the sequel, I guess the story continues, because in the first one, we also, our main character partners up with an angel, and then, you know, as they work this case, their animosity turns into romance. So yeah, should be interesting to read the sequel to see what happens next. But people didn't seem to like it very much in the BookTube sphere, so we'll see what happens. Next book I got was Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. So this is a cozy fantasy. That's what we've been told. We'll see if that is. If you've seen any of our Christina and mine's tries to read cozy fantasy and picking books that are not cozy fantasy, we'll see. You know what I'm talking about. So basically in this one we follow Emily Wilde. She's trying to complete her book of I guess Encyclopedia of Fairies, and on her job she encounters, what's his name, Wendell, who is her insufferably dashing rival. But the thing with Emily is that she is not good with people, so I'm hoping Wendell will help with that. So she just wants to go there and write her book and not deal with anyone but the fairies. So this should be fun. I am looking forward to getting to it soon. Then I got one of my favorite books of last year, and that is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I didn't want to get the original cover one, but the version that I had in the bookstore had a huge crease like here. When I saw this one at the book fair, I got it because I really did enjoy this book last year, and I'm looking forward to getting to the sequel, which I believe came out this month. So, yeah, got this, looking forward to it. Oh, for you who don't know this, in this book we follow Viv, who is an orc. She basically decides to leave her fighting life behind and open a coffee shop. And as she's doing that, she's collecting people, helping her achieve her dream. But then a figure from her past appears and tries to ruin everything. But, you know, this one is actually a cozy fantasy, so things do work out in the end. Then, when I saw that they had this book, I was so surprised. So I was like, okay, I'm getting this, just to, you know, encourage people to get more books by this author. So I got When Gracie Met the Grump by Mariana Zapata. And this is a book that's on my Reddit Fantasy Bingo Reading Challenge, TBR. For, I believe the prompt is superheroes. So in this story, we follow a woman whose name Gracie Castro. She basically finds a half-naked super being in her yard, and he is grouchy, he is rude, and shows no signs of leaving anytime soon. So I guess the two of them have to deal with that and whatever problem that made him, I guess, appear in her yard. And I'm looking forward to getting to it. Then I got V. Schwab's new book, The Fragile Threads of Power. This is, I guess, the continuation of her Shades of Magic series. I know nothing about it. I know that this is set like a couple of years after the last book in the series, and that's pretty much it. I have no idea. What does it say here? Oh, 7 years has passed since Kel, Lila, and Holland stood against, don't know how to say that, Osanon in a desperate battle to save red, grey, and white London. 7 years since the doors between worlds were sealed, Kel's magic was shattered, and Holland lost his life. Oh, this is spoilers for the series. Sorry, if you haven't read this. If you haven't read the Dark Shade of Magic series, it's just spoiled everything. And now, Ree Maresh rules Red London with his new family, his queen Nadia, their daughter Ren, and his consort Alucard. Oh, interesting. But his city boils with rebellion, fueled by rumors he's causing magic to fade from the world. Now Kosika, a child Antari, sits on the throne of White London, leading her people in new rituals of sacrifice and blood in devotion to the altar of Holland. I think I have to read the first trilogy first before I get to this. Summoning vast powers she may not be able to control. Lila and Kel, living free of the waves, are charged by the captain of the floating market to retrieve a powerful artifact stolen by secretive forces. Now Tess, a young woman with a knack for fixing broken things, is thrust into the affairs of Antari and kings, traitors, and thieves, and only her unique powers can weave the thread of power together. Okay, I think I have to reread the first trilogy to get to this one. So, yeah, I guess that's what I'll be doing next year. And the last book I want to talk about that I got from the book fair is Hellbent by Lee Bardugo. This is the sequel to The Ninth House. I don't even, what's the name of the series? I want to say Alex Stern, I believe. In the first book, we follow Alex. She has been given a full right to Yale so that she can study, but also work to help police the secret societies that are existing inside this institution. The secret societies basically use magic for their own nefarious purposes, or basically just to make the rich richer and make them more successful. So when they mess up and, summon something that they shouldn't, Alex and, oh my god, what's the dude's name? Anyway, her mentor were basically tasked to fix stuff. At some point in the first book, the mentor disappeared, and I think this is what they're going to do in the second one, which is to get him out of hell. So basically it says here, find a gateway to the underworld, steal a soul out of hell. A simple plan, except people who make this particular journey rarely come back. But Alex is determined to break Darlington, that's the guy's name, out of purgatory, even if it costs her a fortune at Leith and at Yale. Do I have to reread the first one? We shall see. I'll start this and see how much I remember, and if I'm having trouble, then I'll reread the first one to get to this one. Yeah, but look at the creepy rabbit thing that's here. So yeah, those are all the books I got from last book haul, which was summer. So will I get to them quickly? You know, I have all the good intentions of doing that, but we'll see what happens. So if you have read any of the books that I've just shown you and you want to share your thoughts, please do so down below in the comments. If you liked the video, please press the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. You can press the bell button to get notifications for new videos. And that is it. There are some links in the description box for you to check out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the new video. Bye!